I give to you this week none other than the incomparable Deborah Gordon. Welcome.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much. Love to
Happy
see
to
you
have you
again.
here.
Happy to be here.
Un placer tenerte acá.
I don't understand one thing you just said, but yes.
But yes. What you don't understand, say yes, huh? Just in case it's me gifting you, right? When I go through your bio, I'm really intimate with your journey to a degree because of my participation in the Miss Universe, and wherever there's beauty, I'm there.
Yes.
You know, and fashion and fun, and you show up in a way that I want to describe as you let people go crazy whenever you touch the runway. Now, Deborah, I want to start here with those pot covers that rang out in the AC Hotel at the coronation of the Miss Universe 2023. I sat there in that audience and I watched persons who were seeing it for the first time got so emotional. When you walk onto that stage, it's as if the Jamaican flag walked with you.
Aww.
No, that's the best way to put it, because everyone stood up. And for me, it was a non-verbal way of saying, we want to walk on with you. They stood up, they clapped. And then I heard over the corner, pot covers just started clanging and the jubilation. And you mastered that runway.
Thank you.
And then there you were. And when you were not crowned queen, what I heard throughout the audience was a constant chanting of, that's our queen, that's our queen. And truth be told, probably shouldn't say this, but I joined in because you had all the components, you met all the requirements and more to be crowned queen. So in our hearts, you came out our queen, but you were third runner-up in the Miss Universe. But what I want, my first question to you is, what was your inspiration for that journey and the genesis of that inspiration to the decision-making point of entering the Miss Universe?
Okay, well, to be fair, I think this is the first time I'm publicly speaking about it. I entered because it was basically a gift to myself. After the pandemic, I realized, oh wait, I really didn't allow myself to pursue a lot of my passions, my true passions and goals and dreams. And during the pandemic, you could have died just by breathing the air around somebody who is infected, right? So I said to myself, okay, how would I feel if I were to die during this time? Would I feel accomplished? Would I feel happy with myself? And I realized no. I said, okay, God's willing, if it is that I'm able to live through this, I'm going to go after everything. I don't care what anyone has to say. I don't care what I believe. I'm going to challenge that.
Tunnel vision, huh?
Not really tunnel vision, but determination.
Okay.
Right, because sometimes with tunnel vision, you feel like there's only one way to go, like there's only one path, but sometimes you realize there are several paths to the same destination. Right. So I allowed myself to just go for it, just a dream. I started journaling during the pandemic, like, okay, if I were to enter the pageant, who would my dream team be, and what would I do, and where would I want to go, how would I pursue this?
So you had that mental vision board.
I did, and I wrote it down. That's important, write your dreams and your goals down. Okay, did that, formulated a plan, and got a new job after the pandemic, was saving up my money and everything, but I got sick. Well, I had to use all that savings to take care of my health. But then at the time, there was still the age limit of 27, right?
Okay.
Right. So I turned 27 last year. So I said to myself, you know what? And I entered, I decided to enter when I was 23, 24. So when the opportunity came back, I was 26, about to be 27, which would be during the pageant. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to let this opportunity pass. I don't know if they're going to change the age limit. Let me at least just give myself a chance. So I was already modeling, and I had already had it in my mind that regardless of finances, regardless of what circumstances look like around me, I'm still going to go after this dream. I was at a fashion show, that's UTEC Spring into Fashion show with the UTEC students, final year students. And one of the judges, she was like,
you were attending UTEC at the time?
No.
Okay.
I just like to help out. My friend of mine is a designer, so I walked for her. That's something that I do there.
Good.
Right. So one of the judges, she just pulled me close and she's like, have you thought about entering Miss Universe Jamaica? I said, yes, I already sent in my application. I'm waiting for them to respond. So I first entered East, which is where we met.
Right.
Again, because I actually met you at the coronation in 2023. No, 2022, right, when Tasha Amir was crowned.
Oh,
you had a booth there.
Right.
Yes. And I took your card and I remembered you. So when I saw you at the casting for East, it was just like, hello, hi, welcome to see you again. So yeah, I just gave myself a chance, and this is where I am now.
That's what we call it, self-empowerment, which leads us to the road of self-actualization. And I'm loving that. Now, as it relates to, you said you were already in modeling.
Yes.
I got that correct. So, what type of modeling were you? Was it photographic modeling, runway modeling, what?
Fashion
so
modeling.
I
did a lot of runway, a few runway. Of course, pandemic happened, so that aspect of the industry, the entertainment industry, slowed down a bit.
Right.
I'm still in it, doing it.
What agency or?
It's a local agency called Face Impressions Modeling Agency.
Right.
SPIMA or
that you were with at the time.
Yeah, I'm still with them actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Okay. One of the things that when I met you that stood out to me is that you're a person that, and I'll explain, you have what I call an international look.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? Now, without you speaking, if one just should just look at your face, they couldn't immediately guess that, okay, or associate you with, okay, she is Jamaican. And at times you're able to look at a person and you somehow we profile. Whether we like to or not, we do profile.
Yes,
we do. But you have that look where you could be from just about anywhere in this world.
Really? I guess
Yes.
a lot of African queen, Nubian queen on the road.
Yeah. The eye cheekbones and the long neck and the posture, the eyes, just everything. You just can't say, put you in a box. And I know I love that, and that's one of the reasons when I discussed with my team, I'm like, that young lady would be a good face for our brand. No, we had that discussion, but we'll get back to that.
All right, we'll get back to that.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. But that look that in our industry, is what you'd call a very marketable face.
Hear that, people? Marketable face,
yes,
okay?
Yes. Accompanied by that infectious smile. I think and again, you don't have to speak, but because when you grace that runway and you smile to the audience, we all felt you.
You want to know what I was thinking before I came on?
Dime pues.
Okay, so backstage, during training, they always told us, don't compare yourself to any of the other ladies, don't even think about the crowd. Understand what you want people to feel and tell yourself that before you go on stage. So backstage, they said there's something about Miss Universe, sometimes there's a girl that just has an it factor, and I said, I'm the girl, I have the it factor. I was telling myself that, backstage, and I know how to do this, I know how to work a dress, just motivating myself. So when I came out, I was having fun. I was like, this is my stage, and you're all going to love me, like I'm your favorite. Even if you have someone in the competition, I'm your favorite.
So you were ascending. And that's exactly what I saw happen. Persons who came cheering for a particular
because Susan's people were the ones who had the pot cover actually. They're from St. Elizabeth.
Yes. And they were cheering for you because it's like seeing a child that comes into your home that's very respectful and nice and chubby, and even though you have your household of children, you just have that affinity, that immediate affinity. I mean, persons, I guess they felt as if they don't want to be your big sister, little sister, mommy, daddy, something. There was that immediate relationship because of how you're poised, that you generated a certain feeling. I guess everyone had those dopamines flying all over the place, and I'm loving that about you, and that's one of the reasons. That's the way you affect people. That is very, for me, one of the greatest investment. That you just naturally make into a person's life that comes around you. Once you come around Deborah, you might leave not remembering her name, but we're going to remember those eyes. I described them as being piercing. I was saying you have those eyes that will pull the truth out of anyone, even the greatest of the liar, because it's as if when you look at someone, your eyes go beyond their face, like you're looking at the soul. And then the attention that you pay whenever you're in a conversation with someone. Because I've seen you working the floor and being queen also of the East, and persons want to talk to you here and there. But I look at every second, each second that you're giving to a person, your eyes are there. And it's so important. It just shows that you're very attentive in whatever you do. And who doesn't want, when you're having a conversation with someone or you're trying to relate, you want to make sure that they're communicating well with you. But I want to delve a little into some of your specialities. Yes, the specialities, and I'll begin with fashion. Fashion, very fashionable. And this morning when I spoke to you about adding necklace, and for me I was thinking of would it accentuate, and then you said no, I'm wearing the earring. And usually I'm consider myself good at giving fashion tips, but when you said that, I said wow, makes a lot of sense, because you don't want to take away from those beautiful earrings. So I'm thinking to myself that okay, she want to show something that's priceless.
Yes.
And only to find out that they are your creations.
Yes.
So we want to know a bit about that side of you, being an artist and a craftswoman. So we want to get into that a bit, where that inspiration came from, the ability, the know-how. You can speak a little about that.
Sure. Well, I've always been creative. If you've been, as you said, you've been following me throughout the pageant. I talk about that a lot. I always been good with my hands. My dad is good with his hands. And growing up in Jamaica, everybody, you have to turn your hand.
Daddy.
Yeah, you have to turn your hand, make fashion, right? Exactly.
Make fashion. Okay.
Yes, turn your hand, make fashion. So I grew up, unfortunately, hearing a lot of scary stories about people getting robbed when you're wearing nice gold and silver and diamond jewelry on the road, and I take public transportation, so I want to be safe, right? After a while, I started with t-shirts first, because I always wanted to be a designer. Started with t-shirts, I sketch my designs. I haven't learned how to sew yet, but I will. But I said, why not try jewelry in the meantime, while I'm waiting to figure out the best avenue to learn how to sew. So I actually took a class at Sound Studios, and I've watched YouTube videos. I've gone online to figure
best
out.
University there is now YouTube,
Yes.
huh?
YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram. I've gone on all those platforms, and I just sat down, bought the materials, and I said, okay, let me just try. And now we have these.
And voila. Have you sold any of your pieces?
I have, actually.
Okay.
My business is registered. It's called Nachami. That's Nachami. It's Swahili for love. And yes, I've definitely sold pieces. I've sold mostly t-shirts so far. Men like my t-shirts. They're minimalist and they're very cool. So you should check out my page. That's @_Nachami on Instagram and Twitter. Jewelry so far, I've sold a few, but I'm fine-tuning it, because as you know, it's a process. You want to ensure that your product is not only timeless and stylish, but high quality and durable.
Where do you source your pieces?
I source them in Jamaica and overseas, so Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon, Ligani Dragon Garden, Sana Studios also sells stuff.
So besides being elegant, I see the forward for me is that asymmetrical, and the way is what we call a fashion plate, very fashion forward. Both pieces though they boast different sizes of pearls, one has a twirl and one just has a straight line coming down. And what's the idea behind that? What is it?
Okay, I've always loved asymmetry ever since I learned it in high school, which is basically you have one sheet of paper, but then one side is different from the other, but they're still cohesive, so it's asymmetrical. So say for instance, you have on a split jacket, this side would be purple, but then this side could be black and white, but it has the same spots on it, the same silver dots, that's still asymmetrical. But for me, as you said, you have the gold and the pearls. I like to use a spiral to remind me of the fact that life is a spiral. It doesn't matter if you end up in the same situation, you're approaching it with new information and more strength, more wisdom, so you can make better decisions.
Right.
Because again, sometimes especially if you're in the mental health space, we talk a lot about it, and that's something I advocate for. We may relapse, we may meet upon situations that we feel like we're not growing, but when we actually sit back and take a look at it, it's not that we're going in a circle, we're actually in a spiral. Yeah, so you're probably going up,
and
in a spiral, and you're adjusting as needed, and you're growing, you're getting better, and you're elevating. So it's not that you're in a circle like on a wheel, not going anywhere, running in one place, wasting time. No. So that's one of the inspirations. And I love pearls. You know how pearls are made. It's a lucky grain of sand that goes into a clam, and the clam holds onto it and keeps adding layers and layers over it to protect itself, but then it produces this beautiful pearl. And if you're lucky, you get the pearl.
The depth of your thinking.
And I also love gold, because gold looks good on black people. And Africa is the golden continent, so we have to ensure that everything is represented there.
Right. And I'm quite sure the viewers want to know. And then the other one, it's coming straight.
All right, so the asymmetry, it's just to show that it's okay to not be perfect. Because a lot of times you think perfection means everything looks the same. But not in the real world. Nothing in nature looks exactly the same, but everything's beautiful.
I think I just got the best definition of beauty.
Yeah.
Best definition of beauty. And it's not just a concept of fashion when you create.
Right.
But you put so much in it. The energy, the vibration, and when that is the conduction of that to the recipient or the buyer, the wearer, the user of your pieces, when there's understanding, then it's priceless.
It is.
Because from the explanation you just gave us, there's no way I could add a price to that. There's no way.
Well, that's why I'm doing it. I can add the price.
And you mentioned mental health, which is a topic that is very dear to me. And I mentioned off camera that over the years, I've always been in that space where counseling is necessary from my part to another. I've always been asked to counsel from young to old, to share stories that would benefit, to administer treatment in ways that are in relation to what I do. And I've asked oftentimes, to my creator question, whether or not it has something to do with one of the stops in my journey, or is it something that a part of my calling, a duty, because I'm always in that space where persons with mental challenges, and I guess for me also my ability to recognize a mental imbalance, and also realizing that mental health is not just the persons that are taking the injections or the clinic, but it could be from your toddler. Just 2 days ago I saw a mommy and her child, and they were at a restaurant, and he was being very violent, but most of the while he was screaming and hitting his head against the wall. So it was a lot of self-inflicting, and And I saw her tearing up and wiping, and she walked into the parking lot with him and asking him to just stop. But she wasn't shouting. It was as if she was allowing him to vent.
Yeah.
When I saw that he was hitting himself, I walked over. And at first I said to her, I just want to congratulate you on the way you're handling the situation. And their response was, it's not easy as a single mom. And, you know, after talking to her, the thing I said to her was, she said, well, that is like that, you know, the temper tantrum. I said to her, I want you to consider finding out whether or not there's an hormonal imbalance. You know, because a lot of times we just see things as, oh, the person they're just angry, mad, miserable,
yeah,
bad
mood.
Yes, and so it's a topic that means a lot to me, and so it means a lot to you also. So I'm happy for the opportunity. Where take us through the journey of where you first recognize this pain in our society, this need for treatment, and how have you been taking on this challenge?
Well, for me personally, I also have mental health challenges. I struggle with depression, and I'm overcoming anxiety as well. I've always been around people that, as you said, were described as miserable or angry or always easily irritated. But then when you actually sit down and you observe them, you realize they're not always like that. So then I would sit and observe them and say, okay, there's a pattern here. They're usually upset when it's this. So for instance, someone with OCD,
right?
They're upset if you move their things out of place.
Oh, the triggers.
Right, they have triggers. And growing up, I'd see the stories. I remember Maya talking about her son. We were talking about autism. That's the first time I talked about that.
Angela?
No, not Angela.
Oh.
She was a reporter on CBM.
Okay.
She was a CBM or TVJ, one of them. I remember she was speaking about her son, and then, of course, in high school, after a while, I started to see a lot of people online talk about their own issues and how they end up finding out about it. I'm like, and then learning about therapy and things like that. When I went into university for the first time, that's when I really had more access to find out more about these things. So I'd research it, wondering, questioning why I did the things that I did, why the people around me did the things that they did. Because when you have family members, you tend to love them first, right?
Right.
But if they do something to hurt you, it can make you feel confused, especially if the action the trigger that caused the action doesn't really match the punishment or whatever that they doled out to you. So I wanted to understand them, and I wanted to understand myself more so I could make better choices and just learn more in general. So it was general curiosity and, of course, my own challenges and struggles with depression and anxiety. Through the pageant now, I was actually able to start an advocacy that's called Unoya Mind Art, where I use Unoya.
Okay.
That means well-balanced mind.
Wow, is that Swahili again?
No.
Okay,
I believe that word is Swedish, if I'm not... Don't quote me on that. Okay. Don't quote me on that one. But yes, that's what that one means. So I actually had an art show last year called Mind Art. So I've combined the two, Mind Art.
Right.
So I use art therapy to alleviate my own mental health struggles. So
what are some of the implementations in the art therapy?
Art therapy?
In the treatment, yes.
Okay, for me, it's basically drawing, painting, drawing and painting. You also
you find those to be calmatives.
Yes, they allow me to actually process what I'm feeling and in a healthy way, so it doesn't cause harm to those around me or to myself. Because as you said, the little boy was causing harm to himself, right?
Yes.
Right. So unfortunately, a lot of us tend to do that.
Right.
So last year, I was fortunate enough to actually be encouraged and empowered to start my own advocacy by being involved in the pageant, because that's actually something that you have to do when you're a pageant girl in Miss Universe. Right. So I started that collaborated with Bellevue, which happens just so organically and so beautifully. I still volunteer
You
there.
mean Bellevue in Kingston here?
Yes, Bellevue
Okay,
Hospital or
okay.
mental health hospital.
Is that our only mental health hospital in Jamaica? Because I've never heard of.
It is our only mental health hospital, but it's not the only mental health facility.
Okay.
So UWI actually has a mental health care unit there as well. So
Right.
I also used to work at a counseling firm.
Wow.
Yes, I
Look
used to
at
work at a
your
counseling firm, right?
Look at-
Before pageantry or anything like that.
Right.
Worked at a counseling firm, got counseling there, and all of that added up into me eventually starting my own advocacy, being linked with Bellevue Hospital, and figuring more out about the space and maybe how to add my own voice to it. So art therapy is just one of the therapies. It's on the expressive therapies. You have dance, music, drama, or speech, and art. So they're expressive therapies.
That they use.
Right.
Okay.
So lots of us, lots of people say, why talking not gonna help me with my problems?
My problem.
Yeah, right. Talking not gonna help me. Talk therapy doesn't help a lot of people initially, but you can always start somewhere else. So for instance, those who probably went through a lot of trauma may not have the words to express exactly what happened to them,
Right.
but they may be able to associate a color with it or draw a picture, or you could give them a scene that will help them to process it without them feeling as if they're the ones who are immersed in the experience again.
Right.
Right? Yes.
Cool. Well, growing up, there were no in-betweens when it comes on to mental health.
No.
I was not told that they would appear in varying degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that you're a madman or madwoman.
Are you crazy?
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's certain things that will lead to madness. Like I was told, if you study too hard, you can mad you.
Yes.
If you smoke weed, you can mad you.
Yeah, that's true actually, yes.
And then when I was in high school, I remember this young man who we actually went to all age together.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was in a higher grade than I was at the time.
Okay.
But he would smoke marijuana all day.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying it was the marijuana
Mm-hmm.
that led to him actually becoming, out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
But that affected me just to see one of my peers, because I'm used to seeing the men on the street side.
Yeah.
That's how we know. And for me, he was on his way to be like the men I saw, and that was very frightening to me, because I've never seen a process.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who was sober, and then from being sober minded to madness. So that, and especially when I remember smoking marijuana at about, I was in high school then, but I got high from just a few puffs. My threshold is very
Short.
short.
Very low.
And so I ran.
You ran? Oh my God.
Because I started feeling funny. And the guy I saw a piece of mirror on the chest of drawer. I took it up and looked in my eyes. I guess somehow it's shock. The shock of seeing my eyes
So red.
almost bleeding
Wow.
with red. So immediately, because let me tell you something about miseducation. When you have wrong information,
Yes.
that can send you to hell if there is one,
Yes.
or create a hell for you when you believe a lie.
That's true.
So there was the only thing I could think about when I started feeling high was, Lord God, me a mad. I threw the mirror down, dashed through the door, and I ran all the way to my house. And the gate was locked. And I didn't bother to ask for a key or to see if it was actually locked with the
lock.
containers, the lock. I jumped over. Today, don't ask me how I did it. I guess the adrenaline, I was in fight or flight, I was just flying. Let me tell you something. I scaled that fence, and we had an outside pipe in the yard, and I started drinking water, and then I
To try
ran.
and flush your system.
Well, it wasn't about no flushing, but my heart was just beating so hard. I thought I was gonna die. So it was the panic attack, the high, the all of that, and my mind. And remember, I can't let my mom know. I just get myself to a state of madness. The fear of what my mom would say, I'm going crazy, all of that is rushing through my mind. And my heart said, I'm gonna die. I ran to the door, opened the room, and locked myself in, because to me, if I got mad, I don't want nobody to see me mad. I was wondering, am I going to start tearing my clothes off, all of that. Just all these thoughts rushing through my head. But I have to keep telling myself, don't do this, don't do that. You're going to be trying to find out how to be okay. I have no information about how to treat myself. I just know they said people can mad you with weed. And as far as I was concerned, that was happening to me. And Deborah, I'll tell you this. It has been one of the worst I've had experiences in life. But it has been one of the worst because I was just a young boy. And the fear of not being able to have a family, live any longer, have kids, just so much.
From that one experience,
Oh
because
my
you didn't
goodness,
have
I
the right
didn't know
information.
thoughts could travel at that speed. Changing thoughts too. My heart, I lay on my back and I just felt like my heart was just coming through my back, and so changed position and laid on my stomach, and it was the same. My head felt like it was bursting, just it's in and out, and just the feeling is indescribable. So many
It's
things happening.
intense,
The phantom
overwhelming.
pains and all I knew, I didn't want to leave the room. Look what I did to myself. And so, and after that I kept it from my mom.
Even to
Because
this
here
day?
was the single mom. No, I've been able to, it has been one of my greatest testimonies. But it took me years though.
To say it.
And I tell you why it took me years too. First, to be informed. Because if you continue to believe a lie, you will never get better.
No, you won't.
If I believe I'm a chicken, even though I'm a human being, I'm going to behave like a chicken.
That's true.
Because of that belief. And so that's one of the reasons about brainwashing persons. It has been a tool that people use even in war to conquer nations. Brainwashing is so, and sometimes it's not intentional, but the road to hell is paved, they said, with good intention. So sometimes, but it hurt me real bad with that. And over the years I've managed it, got information, and I'm able to help persons who have gone through it or going through a situation like that, because I've been through it.
Because knowledge is power, and knowledge actually helps to dispel lies.
And I brought out these oils because I want to talk about some of the therapeutic effects of these oils that we have here. For persons who are suffering from different types of mental. So it's not something it's not a one size fits all. It depends on what it is that you're going through.
Exactly.
But as it relates to things like the insomnia, the anxieties, and
or even depression, because it can help that too.
Oh, most definitely. So the question we get asked mostly during the podcast is about how can one get their own fragrance customized, having their own formulation. Now, to answer that, all you have to do is to make your appointment at www.princethebluesfragrance.com. Visit us on Instagram at princethebluesfragrance. You could also WhatsApp us at 876-395-9043. And remember to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. So I want first to introduce you to this one. I asked you not to open. And so this is the frankincense, huh?
Yes.
The frankincense.
Heard about it, but I've never smelled it before. This is my first time, everyone.
Okay, here we go.
But I saw a few of these before that are actually in my arsenal. Lemon, I've used that. Peppermint. Right. Oh, this is chamomile. Peppermint. I actually really love this one.
So the chamomile, so that will help a lot in terms of with your sleeping, calming the nerves. It's a calmative.
I tend to drink it in tea.
In tea.
I've never actually seen it in essential oil before.
And also even the soursop leaf. I know I've heard of a person soursop leaf.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Magical. Listen, I had insomnia and it helped.
Beauty and brains, let me tell you about the soursop leaf. The soursop leaf has been one of the best teas that I've had. And I say that because, well, in relation to what I was going through. And I don't like taking pills because then I have to think about the side effects. No, I'm not, suggesting that person should not take pills, but I'm saying for me personally, I love to go with natural stuff, very organic. So when I had this soursop tea, that was like mom nestling me under her arm and putting me to bed.
That's the perfect description.
I would call it the lullaby.
The lullaby tea. Yes,
because that just rock.
It's the perfect description. Really,
yes.
You drink it and then you just feel your body coming from 100 to go down.
Wow.
Very calm.
That wow effect.
And then you just go to sleep.
Yes,
and you stay asleep and you wake up in the morning feeling refreshed.
Feeling refreshed, and to me, it's because sometimes when I'm feeling like the anxiety before I learn to master it, because now I've learned a lot about mental health through being around persons and having to counsel and hearing the different stories and studying also, and I've found that counseling, when you hear counseling, it sounds as if, well, it has to be one, people think, oh, me need counseling for.
True.
But at times, earlier, a crew member said that I am always open to criticisms. I find it to be one of my strengths, constructive criticism, because I don't know it all.
That's true.
And so because I am so open, so I allow persons to speak into my life, not just about anybody. Because, you can't get anybody lay their hands on you. Some person just want to hear your problem so you can tell somebody else.
Yes.
And that's worse for you. That's going through when you did not intend for B to hear your story. Only A, but A takes it to B because everyone has a best friend. But counseling doesn't necessarily has to be, there's a psychiatric ward to be able to talk to someone. But someone of confidence. Like I said, I spoke with my youth pastor. But let's go back to the effects. So the peppermint for you, have you used the peppermint?
I have, but I was actually using it for BO because whenever I work out, I sweat a lot, and unfortunately, sometimes I have BO, and I'm like.
So tell the audience, what's a BO? What she's talking about?
Oh, that's body odor, people.
Okay.
Body odor.
Right. So
how
do you apply?
I just put it on my clothes.
Okay.
It came with a dropper, so I just put like one or two under my arm, on my wrists.
Right.
That's up the clothing.
So for the
but not on my skin.
So what I've said some persons is that you can get it in dilution because the raw essential oil is very strong and it could cause some irritation. Could even put it on a wet rag and to wipe the skin with it. But there are other things that you can use also when it relates to the BO.
But I realized it also helped to calm me down because I like the scent.
Oh yes, and peppermint. So I'll tell you this: if I wake up and I'm feeling drowsy or tired, one of the things that I'll use for peppermint, because I'll use it externally as well, is that I'll actually use it to wash my face to avoid the eye areas.
I did the raw peppermint oil or just a diluted
version? I would
version?
add a diluted version. But the way, the effect, the virus is a rejuvenator.
Yes.
They make you alive. And so when I'm making creams too, when I create foot creams, I'll add the peppermint because it's very good for the tired feet and the inflammation.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know about that one.
It is more than, but going along, here we are, eh?
Listen, you have to pronounce that one. I've seen this word so many times.
Ilang ilang.
Yes, ilang ilang.
Yes.
Okay, let me smell this one because I don't think I smelled it.
And some persons say the kalanga water.
Okay, this is actually pretty interesting.
And use in a.
Is it a flower?
Why red for yes the
Okay.
and the persons use it a lot. The perfumers use it.
Yes.
Their perfumes.
Yeah, I've seen this on a lot of labels.
Yes, but very therapeutic as well. For treating of different mental.
So if someone, when would they use this? When they're feeling anxious or stressed?
Yes, stress. For the stress. But then
so
again,
it's stress relieving.
It's stress and anxiety. It's like you can't, bad stress. Because person have to know if you go to the gym, you're actually putting yourself on the stress. So you have good stress and bad stress. And the bad stress definitely, it's like the husband or
why talk about the husband
or the wife. So anxiety is okay. So anxiety is just a precursor, and then you're gonna get that stress, and then all that. So I have to be there. Well, I tell you this: I never hear it's better to live into a house without roof than to live with a miserable man. You work that well out.
Well, that's the first time I'm hearing that one, but I'll take that and put it in my memory bank. Okay, lavender. I love lavender. I love lavender.
What's this love relationship with lavender? What is it does for you?
It's very calming. Even now, even my tone just changed when I just inhaled it. I feel the calmness just.
And so
any tension in your body just goes.
Insomnia as well. And so one of the ways in which I have asked persons to administer it, when you're going to your bed, to add drops of it onto your pillow. You don't want too much of it, but you just, and it will, not just make you sleep better, but when you get up, you feel rejuvenated.
So will it help you to stay asleep? Because I can fall asleep, but I don't stay asleep sometimes.
Why is that you don't stay asleep?
There's too many ideas in my head.
Thinking. It will help you. It's not going to take away your ideas.
No,
but when you're
that's
feeling,
good.
when you're feeling calm, then the body is responding differently. Yes. It's more paralytic behavior that the body will go through. Because there are persons that actually sleep and the body is not paralyzed.
Right. They're still very active. They might get tics in their sleep.
Yes. Like sometimes I remember I'm dreaming and I'm punching all the way through the dream. So I remember I used to have to sleep with with nothing close to my bed. All the nightstands would have to go. Because whatever is going on, I'm going to bring it into the world of the wide awake. So I'm punching through, kicking through.
I actually have a bottle of this at home, so I'm going to try it.
Man. Just do it.
Alright, this one, blood orange.
Okay. So these citruses too, and that's actually getting from the orange peel, and a lot of these citruses. Well, you see, one is a rejuvenator.
Yeah, help you to boost your mood,
boost the mood, and so if you're feeling a mood melancholy, it helps a lot with that.
I remember growing up, I used to always see elderly people inhale. A little like a white thing, and then they inhale it, and I realized lots of the scents tend to be citrus scents.
Or if they have about the smelling salt?
Would it be smelling salt? They say usually it's for their sinus. That's what they would say.
Or
for their headaches.
So it's not necessarily, but the lime can be used because it's used to help to cleanse, and then most of them have the mucus
build up.
Or a person say because they have sinus. Well, everybody has a sinus. But
sinusitis.
They have sinusitis, and so it will help to activate like the draining of the sinus that you don't want at some time. And it's really about mucus though, and so these will help in alleviating. So when you have sinusitis, just understand that the mucous membrane here has been compromised. And so you can use also these stuff. But let us go to the
frankincense. Do we have any more?
So the wise men took this to Jesus. Well, the otherwise, we're waiting for that otherwise, right? So here we go.
All right, this is my
first
time.
And I want it to smell like
that? Okay, so.
Yes.
does this remind me of?
You tell me.
Oh, wow. Kind of reminds me of Christmas time, but I'm not sure why. I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm smiling. It reminds me of cleaning products.
No, the reason why I'm doing
because of the Bible story. I'm sorry.
The Bible story.
No correlation.
So I am saying it smells like Christmas. I'm just wondering if you read the story one
like
time too
the
many.
initial scent. It reminds me of some spices like during Christmas time, but then the lingering scent or the afternoon.
The afternoon, yes.
That's what you call it?
Yeah, the sillage.
The sillage. It reminds me of cleaning products.
Of cleaning products?
Yes.
And it's
like floor polish.
I love when person, so I never ask a person whether they like a scent or not. I ask them to describe it or what is it giving. And so for you, it's cleaning products. And so scents are subjective, so it depends on what the association that another person is having with it. Because you'll ask 5 persons to smell this, and chances are you get the 5 giving a different yes. So scent is one of our first learning tools. What is it that it's doing for us? But so it comes to the question of your indulgement in the fashion world, and how has fragrance affected in terms of your decision making? And I'll ask you first in terms of fashion about your jewelry making. Does fragrance play a part in the creation process?
Actually, no, but I do realize that anytime I feel stressed and I really want to create, I will light a candle. I actually have I have a candle at home from Rachel Lane. I don't remember the scents that are in it.
If it was from Prince of Bruce, you'd have remembered.
Okay, I like that shameless plug. Alright. I don't remember the scent in it, but every time I light that candle,
what's your experience?
Calming, soothing, and I'm ready to go again.
Ready? Okay.
Ready to go again. Ready to create. I can sit down and actually focus and do what I need to do.
Okay.
I don't remember the scent in
this
it.
Particular scent. So it helps with your whole inspiration.
Right. It like sets the tone. It creates a very nice environment where I can sit down and create and allow my creative juices to just flow. And of course, it's creativity plus discipline. So you have to ensure that you know what you're doing. So if I make a mistake, I'm not going to be like, oh my God. I can just be like, all right, I made a mistake. Let me see how I can work it in or try again.
Wow.
And you need that, right?
Okay. Most definitely. As for me, I do a double treatment.
Oh.
So I'll do an intake in the form of tea, and I'll do scenting. So there are particular notes that I could use just to cleanse the palate, the nasal palate.
Okay,
and
tell
then,
us, Edwin.
And
tell
then the ingestion.
Tell us, Prince de Bruce.
Yes. So for example, I use coffee if I want to be cleared. I'll use some of the citruses as well. One of my favorite though is from the Civil Orange, the Neroli. I just Neroli.
In a tea?
And then the sophistication of it.
Wait, was that in a tea?
So the Neroli, because I've done the actual extraction, so I use the oil a lot. Yes, so not in the tea. The tea I just use the Civil Orange itself, the peel. So loving, Civil Orange.
No.
I find that most of the young persons don't know what Civil Orange is. So orange.
This is why the older generation should introduce us, because we want to know, right, people?
So I'll ask them. I'll get that information.
But sour orange, yeah, I know about sour orange.
Yes, you see how I get myself out of the category of older people. Yeah, but in terms of, so when you're doing runways, how does, how is scent incorporated in the whole, the ensemble?
Well, I like to smell good, and if you're doing runway, you're gonna have a long set day. So you're probably here from the morning, but then your runway actually starts in the night. Right. You want to ensure that you smell good when you're walking past those people.
Right.
You can't spray the designer's clothes because, as you know, there are chemicals in the perfumes and it can cause a reaction or leave a mark or a stain on the fabric.
One of the things that I do as a perfumer is that I make body oil for models. So if you're going out there, like you say, you can't spray because a lot of times the clothes have to go back on the hanger.
Yes,
or so you're not allowed to. But you want to leave a piece of you out there. You want to be not just look comfortable, you want to smell comfortable.
Yes.
You want to be remembered by the scent that you carry. So then it has to be carried
in a good way,
in
you know.
a good way. and so the carriers are the skin, the hair, and sometimes you have a particular jewel that you're able to
put perfume in. Yes.
Yeah. So I make like the body oil. So and then there are so many benefits from the body oil. So you add that luster to the skin, that allows the skin to shine.
Which shows up really nicely on camera.
Very nicely on camera, and then the aroma itself.
It's very pleasing, and when you're walking by audience members, they're already looking at you.
Right.
They're already focused on you. So you want to ensure that they're having a pleasurable
Sometimes
experience.
you're imagining what you smell like. Yeah. So if you're doing a swimsuit, what usually your go-to scents?
Well, I tend to use the same thing all around. I tend to use cocoa butter, something with cocoa, chocolate, vanilla. I like to smell like a bakery.
Gourmand, okay.
Like a bakery.
Okay.
Because during the pageant, I was wearing. I will not name the brand, but it is a local brand. It's not Prince de Bruce yet. But every time I wore it, I would forget that I'm wearing it because I'm not smelling it after.
So you can, okay.
Right. So I'd walk past people and say,
so acclimatization. So. A lot of scent, after you put it on, you get
scent blindness.
And so you're not smelling it.
No.
But the persons that comes close to you,
they
are smelling it.
So I would walk past the girls sometimes in training and they would turn around and go, who smells like a bakery? Who smells like cookies? And I'm like, it's me.
Yeah. With the melanin smell like a cocoa butter. It's a cocoa butter lady.
So actually, I really like that. Plus the oils, I like the oils. If you're doing the swimsuit section, especially in pageantry, you want to show off your muscles. So having a body oil is really good.
Right.
It shows up really nicely on camera. The body. Yes, a toned body shows your muscles really nicely and it makes you feel a little bit more confident. Because sometimes you will be in the AC, it dries our skin out. So that's another thing too. Keeps moisture in the skin for a very long time. So that's another benefit.
Do you know that oil actually minimizes the visibility of stretch marks?
Actually, yes, and not just stretch marks, but scars.
Right. So a person would think that oils are gonna highlight, but they actually diminish.
It gives a nice smooth finish.
And there are certain oils that you mix with the toner just to get
toner.
Oh yes.
What are you saying, toner?
The skin tone to get. Because you want to look all in one, you want a consistency. And so even in the oil, some of the oils that we make, so the body oil, we add glitter. So it depends on what you're wearing.
Body glitter, yes.
Yes, so if you, like for example, we do that a lot during our carnival.
Yes.
So it's not just an aroma, it's the look also. So there's a combination of benefits when we create our fragrances. But I remember that evening wear that you wore on Coronation Night.
Yes, the gold gown.
The golden lady. Do you remember what you smelled like in that gown?
Cocoa butter. But using the oil, it's the body oil. Yeah, that's what I had at the time, so that's what I smelled like, cocoa butter.
So a lot of Jamaicans were able to relate, like the cocoa butter lady. You've created a fragrance with us.
I have.
But
that
there's one problem with that fragrance.
What is that?
You kept it.
I kept it.
So it's not a fragrance that was shared with your fans, well-wishers, or persons who just want a piece of you just to see it. And so my question to you is, when will you make a brand? You have been doing it with your earrings and the t-shirt. When will you make your fragrance line so that persons who want to have that Deborah effect be able to share it?
Well, you should let me know. I've been waiting for you to call me. But the experience was really good when I had a chance to see what it's like to actually mix and make a perfume. I'm actually wearing mine right now. It's literally at the bottom of the bottle.
Do you remember some of the notes?
Oh, I don't remember them. Maybe if I look, they were at the top right here. So if I look at them, I'll remember them. But I don't remember them out of my head.
But what are some of the notes that you'd want to incorporate
In my
if
next
you're doing
scent?
a brand? Yes.
Lavender, definitely lavender, and I like lemon. I'm not sure if the two would go together, but maybe we could make two. But I like both.
That's
and
where,
I like cocoa butter.
And you like cocoa butter. That's where my art comes in terms of. So we'll make an extra de parfum, and
I don't know what that is, but
so
yes.
the longevity would be just like wow.
I do like
so the
longevity.
concentration level for that would be higher than that of a eau de parfum or perfume or eau de toilette, cologne, all of them. And so it lasts long. And of course, in our bridging, which is the putting to make sure that it's harmonious. And so in our bridging process, we also add different elements to extend your longevity. So when you do your spritz in the morning, you don't have to be spritzing throughout the day.
No.
You spritz and you just go throughout your day and just win. Keep winning.
You know, I've actually been wearing your scent as like a midday scent. I have rollerball oils I wear in the morning, and then like midday,
Right.
I'll go in the bathroom and go pss, 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 with my Prince de Bruce, and I come out to everybody's like, "You smell nice." I'm like, "Thanks."
So you wait till midday to give them lunch?
Yes.
Okay.
Because everybody's energy a little bit low, during lunchtime. We just
Right.
give them a pick up. And give myself a pick up.
I love also that, and then it becomes the mental again, the psychological, because here you are, you put it on with the intention of picking up the mood. So the oils, and so it is very important. So when I'm making a creation, I'm always asking the customer, if I may, want of a better word, what is it that you want to say with this fragrance? What's the statement piece? And so for you, a mood picker, there are certain note that I would want to add, in those fragrances. And so whether they're smelling it initially or in the dry down process, we'd want to add that. Let me tell you something. If there was no dictionary and we could not find the definition of beauty, all we'd have to do is to look at you.
Aww.
We're talking about external, internal, and I have so much respect for the way you carry yourself.
Thank you.
I had a conversation with a young lady this morning about self-respect and not allowing what others do to determine your reaction. I'm explaining that self-respect, all of the external does not bother. That's self, the integrity. And so just the way you carry yourself, your poise, is admirable. And I hope that too is infectious. So wherever you go around, you meet. And for me, it's like you're a walking flag, Jamaican flag. Just a wonderful representation. And boy, someday you have to start to sing like, the songwriter say, Jesus, you love me too much. That's how we go. After a while, that's how you're going to have to tell us, Jamaicans, that we love you too much. But it's the way you carry yourself. Your poise, your happiness, and the positiveness, and the way in which you just want to help. And at your age, so much going on for you, a very bright young lady. Other persons will just be about themselves, but you stop at the different junctions of life to help those who are suffering from mental health. And from your own experience, I guess it's more relatable, and you're able to express empathy. And I am with you. I want to walk beside you on your journey where that is concerned. And I'm encouraging persons who, whether or not you have experienced it or you know someone who have experienced mental health in varying degrees, just to see how much, if they're not able to do it themselves, but to find a way to help to foster your growth in terms of arming you with that arsenal where you're able to provide more to for those persons, because a lot of us not able to deal with it. We don't know what to do,
That's
how
true.
to react, and it can be very overwhelming.
Yes. 'Cause
Even
it's a
family
lot.
members, you know,
Yes.
your brother, your father. I know a young lady, and her mom is now having the Alzheimer's, and she doesn't know what to do. My own family, I know I have in an aunt that's having her experiences in the States right now, and she has been so good, but she had asked years ago that, pick me if anything ever, don't put me in a nursing home. But it's one thing for them to request that, but when the reality hits, and so everyone wants to put her in a home, but I know her son said, I remember and I respect mom's
choices.
request not to go into a nursing home, and so he's there dedicated.
Still good. He could still get a nursing aid, you know.
Yes, to come at home. But you know, it's just a joy. It's such a joy, and I'm happy that you have fragrance us with your smile, with this information, and your aroma.
My aroma.
Your aroma, the special aroma.
Which is from Prince de Bruce.
Yes, forever be with us, and we will make sure that we create your special scent, your
Yes, I
signature
actually
scent.
have the sheet. I just need to find it.
What was your scent called?
I actually call it Devra, which is the Hebrew version of my name, which is the original version of my name, DVRA. That's what I called it.
Boy, Devra.
Yes.
I love it. So,
But you know, but to be fair, I may need to change it because the name actually means bee, and I feel like it needs to be a sweet scent.
a sweet
Yeah,
scent.
something with honey,
Okay.
sugar,
Meal.
you know?
That's your only dulce. That's your sweet.
Something
So
like
there
that,
you go. I
yes.
gave you the onion and azúcar for the sugar. So there we go. There. It's really a joy. Again, we celebrate you and we'll continue to do so. And you have been making us proud. And today we are very happy to have you. And we're promising our audience that they will be having your fragrance sooner than later. Okay?
Okay, guys,
Promise.
keep him
Very
accountable, you know,
dear.
because I'm ready.
Okay. They have pinky finger promises. We're doing wine glass promises.
Wine glass. Okay, a toast. All right, everyone, we drank to that.
And we're out.